inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Hey, ladies. You know, with everything that's been going on, I haven't referenced this season's theme in a second. We've been talking so much about so many powerful topics. But let's please remember that the topic for this season is welcome to the ER. And we are talking about execution and restoration. And I had a situation with a client, and I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive and talk to you guys about it because I know you do this. The reason why I know you do it is because my client did it. And if she did it, I know that there are plenty of other people around the world that would do it. You know, when we realize that we're not the only ones going through something, experiencing it, etc., yada yada yada, that's when our power comes. Well, I have this client. She's super spiritual, and she's a go-getter at the same time. And so she has this wonderful blend. Hey, kind of like me, where she is able to listen and hear God. She operates in the spirit of faith with the law of attraction, and she's also willing to put in the work, and she has an abnormally high work ethic. Well, one of the things that happens, people don't like to talk about this, but I like to keep it real. She's in a season in her business where it kind of slowed down some. Now, is she closed? No. Meaning, like, did she just stop making money altogether and doesn't know how she's going to be able to survive because she's about to be homeless tomorrow and her business just failed and she has to quit? No, that's not her story. But she isn't necessarily in the most comfortable space. Well, in talking with her and just really identifying what her goals were for this year and what was important to her, one of those things was strengthening her spirituality. And over the last, maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3 to 5 weeks, she's been getting this really strong pull to take her spiritual practices to the next level. But in order to do that, that means it's going to require her to take more time digging in. So whatever that looks like, more time meditating, more time praying, more time just sitting in silence in the grass. I don't know. But the point is that she's like, oh, I can't do that right now because if I do that, then my business is going to suffer. How many of you have made that decision and you won't allow yourself to rejuvenate? You are just in hardcore execution mode, not realizing that during the rejuvenation
of meditation or whatever spiritual practices you have in place, that you are actually allowing execution to come forward. And no, I'm not talking about the execution of your renewed strength. I'm talking about the Spirit is executing on your behalf. I know so many women that could be much further in their business, and I've said this to several people as led, that you have to realize that your next layer, your next level in your business is connected to the divine. You tapping into that piece is what's going to allow you to elevate. And I'll even be really honest with you. It's funny because in the last 6 months, I've probably given some form of advice like that to at least 6 women. And here it is right now. I am in a point where I can literally see, I see the elevation of my business on a whole another different level. You know how I talk about celebrating the little things? You have to look at every single thing that happens and say, wait a minute, hold up. This is not how it's always been. Like, for instance, I was featured on this woman's podcast. Matter of fact, I'm putting it out there because it's the dopest interview that I've ever had. And it was on the Ride or Die Tribe podcast with Kristen Benton. Really, really good podcast. You guys should check it out. And it was so emotional and it was so spiritual. There was a lot of vulnerable things that came out of my mouth. My husband just kind of looks at me. He's like, man, you just don't care, but you are authentic, for real, for real. It was that sensitive. Some things that he's like, I don't know if I would have shared that, but I shared that I have accepted this weight, this calling, this extra thing that I'm supposed to do. And that means that I do meditate more. And I really, really would prefer to be on more sales calls or doing something different. And even though I'm beasting a summit and I've had a couple of calls in the past week, I've got one tomorrow from the day when I'm actually recording this podcast, where I could be doing more scouting or something else. I'm not. And then my husband is on a similar, not the exact same, but on a similar wavelength. So he's kind of, resting and rejuvenating himself. We're both in this place simultaneously, and he's really good at getting leads for me. And even he's kind of like, we got to trust where we're at right now with the current clientele that you have, because if we're both feeling pulled this way, because we're responsible. Hey, you guys already know our story and what level of hours that we're willing to put behind this business to make sure we're successful, but we're both pulled away. Then that means that we have to allow God to do whatever it is that he's going to do to bless the business. And that is me having to eat what I put out there for my clients. And so while I've made this declaration to accept certain spiritual facets of my walk and to be in that position of striving and saying, God, I'm ready. How do you want me to play a major role like my predecessors to change the trajectory of our future by uniting humanity, by being a voice of reason and really doing things to help my people, but then also other races come together with my people. And like I'm saying it here now, and I've never really been that bold to say it because I didn't ever want anybody to think that I'm putting myself on a pedestal, I'm talking too much, but I'm not. That's me saying that I accept what God has given me, and I'm speaking it in faith. I honestly believe me saying that now and somebody coming back to this podcast, like how those of us that listen to Machiavelli, we'd be like, look, Tupac was predicting his death. And this is what his other song, he planned all of this. It was orchestrated. Well, but somebody who's going to be able to say, hey, August had a habit of doing this. Even when she had her blog talk radio show, she would have situations come up and speak into faith, speak into existence the things that she expected to happen based on what was revealed to her by the Spirit. And so somebody's going to come back one day and hear this and be like, man, here it is, 20, whatever it is. And I'm listening to some timeless information where this woman said this is what she was supposed to do. And that is what she went down in history for. But in order for me to get there, there's a level of spirituality that I have to embrace. I can't work myself to that point enough. And so one of the things that goes is our spirituality. The second thing that goes is our health. And unfortunately, another thing that goes is the well-being in our households. And so where are you at? Don't practice the art of self-sabotage by not allowing your spirit to be full and trusting that God is working out something in the background, whether it's a check in the mail, an opportunity that you didn't think of to get paid, clients that are already ready that you had no clue about, but they come right on time. I really don't know what it is, but you just have to trust and believe that he's there. And so the ironic thing is your faith is being tested when you really need to just get what you need. But hello, in order for you to really know that you have faith, you need to be in a place of need and then trust that God is going to deliver. Yeah, so even though in my heart, I know that this segment made sense. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever recorded videos or some type of audio, you have that moment where you're like, what did I say? I almost feel like I should push rewind and go listen to this before I just upload it. But, real talk, as we continue to strive to build our businesses, we make a lot of wrong turns and it can cause anxieties. We invest in programs that didn't pan out, that made us feel like this is it. I mean, like, how many times have you said, this is it? Oh, yeah. This is going to be the launch. This is going to be the right product. This is the training that I need. And then after about anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months, you are still in the same predicament. That shame and embarrassment that won't allow you to fully show up is also the thing that's going to help you from not getting what you need from your business, because you need to be there. And so with that being said, what are you going to be doing with your life coming up next month? Because next month, myself and 20 other women are ready to help you get the time management skills in order to be able to not feel guilty about implementing your spirituality, learning how to manifest, taking care of your health, but also learning all of those wonderful things about building your business, from niching to creating your brand, doing lead generating websites. I said generation, all this stuff about our ancestors and all that. But learning how to, do email marketing, create signature courses, sales. We are here to help you with every facet of entrepreneurship. Join us. It's a free event for the Business Mastery Summit. We are here and we are ready to help. And that's basically it, you guys. Don't sacrifice your spirituality for your business, okay? I love you, ladies. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces!
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.